Now, before I tell you about the next award, I want to read a verse. I am Hashem. I have called you with righteousness. I will strengthen your hand. I will protect you. I will set for you a covenant to the people, for a light to the nations, to open blind eyes, to remove a prisoner from confinement, dwellers in darkness from a dungeon. Who does that apply to? You know, there is a very beautiful teaching. It's one of the most profound teachings I've ever seen, and I always share it. It's a midrash about Elkanah, who was the husband of Hannah in Samuel 1, the father of Samuel the prophet. And this person, Elkanah, lived in a time where, for whatever reason, the Jewish people had become very disconnected from spirituality, and they were not making the pilgrimage to the tabernacle in Shiloh. And Elkanah single-handedly took it upon himself to rouse the Jewish people, and the way the Midrash describes it is so amazing. He went up one year, one route, and he passed through towns and villages, and people said, "Where are you going?" And he said, "I'm going up to the house of Hashem. Would you like to come along?" And people said, "You mean we could come too?" And he said, "Of course." And he schlepped these people schlepped them, just grabbed them and pulled them there. The next year he went a different route, and he took some more families. Next year he went a different way. So eventually, in a number of years, he crisscrossed the entire land. He single-handedly, one man, brought the entire people back to God just by schlepping them. When I think of that midrash, there's one person that it reminds me of, Sam Peake. So I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Please, any person in this room that owes a debt of gratitude to Sam Peake, that has been influenced by Sam Peake's teachings, would you raise your hand? Thank you. So Reb Shmuel Peake is like the Elkanah of this generation. He has brought so many people to Torah, so many people to the God of Israel, and of course he is empowered by his woman of valor, Brenda, who allows him to do this, have this kind of crazy, thankless lifestyle. And this is very much along the lines of Ezra the scribe. Ezra the scribe, he also brought back the returnees from Babylon. He brought them back to the Torah. The Temple Institute sees in Shmuel Peake a partner in temple consciousness, in spiritual revolution, in preparing the way in the world for Hashem. And we're very proud to present to Sam and Brenda the Ezra Award for Torah Education. Please. Sam? Yeah.
Yeah, he completely disarmed me. I had so many things prepared to poke at him with, you know. And he completely disarmed me. Brenda, you can come closer. It's okay. I mean, they'll think you're Yitzhak Rubin's wife. I mean, I promised the rabbi I'd be on my best behavior, so I'll be very, very short and sweet. And I just want to throw a few things at you, okay? The rabbi already mentioned this Rosh Chodesh Ma.
You can stand up now.
I can stand up now. One nudnik in the audience. One. Okay. Okay, the rest of you. Is that what I do to you? I'm a new. Oh, okay.
You do a lot worse to me, Sam. A lot worse to me.
No wonder I'm always on the list. Yeah. Marasot. Anyway, it's Rosh Chodesh Kislev. You do know there's this beautiful teaching, every Rosh Hashanah, Hashem already has all the shefa for the entire world. It's already divided up. Everybody gets their allotted amount. But it's so, even then it's so unbelievably overpowering, we can't handle it all at one time. So he divides it into 12 pieces. And every Rosh Chodesh, he sends it our way. That month's piece, that 12th part. If you know that, you can really make this nice connection on Rosh Chodesh. And it's so significant that the rabbi, you picked this date, right? Okay. That the rabbi picked this date. It's just an accident, right? We have a lot of those accidents happen to us, Rabbi. Anyway, so in the month of Kislev, all about Hanukkah, he's already told you Hanukkah is all about the Holy Temple. And when he was talking, and because so many times, sometimes we think every person in the world should be in this room. If they only knew, if they only had some inkling of an idea of just how important the Holy Temple is, just how important Hashem is, if they were even only aware of Hashem. And really everything that we're talking about the study of the Torah and about, I'm really not a teacher of the Torah. I just go and share with people what the sages of Israel says, what my rabbi says, and Hashem does the rest of it. He does all of it. But the whole point of the whole thing is to make people aware that there is a God in the world. And that brings up somebody else. Because really, my wife deserves this award without any doubt, because she puts up with everything. But the real person who deserves this award is actually Rabbi Levi Yitzhak of Berdichev. Yeah. Which is an extremely strange story that I won't begin to tell you, but this is actually how I came full circle with this rabbi. If it wasn't for Rabbi Levi Yitzhak of Berdichev, I'm sure he couldn't put up with me, and I certainly couldn't put up with him. But Rabbi Levi Yitzhak, the defense attorney of the Jewish people, is so special. That, and I could actually go through the audience just one after another, after another, after another, everybody. But like him, it would take forever. And he's already given me a time limit, and I'm sure I've already gone over it, but it's okay. Yeah, I know. He just said that. I have a few things I have to move.
Sam, take your time. Not so much time.
Not so much time. Okay. All right. So I'm going to subtract from him from the time, the interruption that he just made with me. Okay, so anyway, I completely lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Rabbi Levi Yitzhak of Berdichev, yeah. Anyway, just to make this connection, anyway, I could talk about so many people, like Buck Bradford sitting here. Buck Bradford also forced me. It's not like I did this job voluntarily for Hashem. He forced me. He was. You talk about a nudnik. He was a real nudnik. He stayed on me and stayed on me and stayed on me until I started to teach classes. So there are certain people in the room that are extremely deserve this award much more than me. And by the way, I think we're overlooking completely the person in the room who actually really deserves the whole thing, which just happens to be Rabbi Chaim and Rena Richmond standing behind me. They truly do. I'm going to finish in 5 seconds. Maybe 60. So awareness of Hashem. We have to understand so very, very clearly that the Holy Temple is the epitome of the awareness of Hashem. When the Holy Temple is present upon the earth, the awareness of Hashem goes up thousands of fold. You know why? Number one, because then when we just talked about the concept, we first talked about the concept of shefa, of this abundance that comes to us from God. The connection point is the Holy Temple. The distribution point is the Holy Temple. On and on and on. If we can look at it so many different ways. Your body is a Holy Temple. The universe is a Holy Temple, which is why exactly there's a parallel between your body and the universe. This is why every human being is a whole universe. This is why the whole oversystem of all the universes is called what? Hadam Hagadol, the great man. And why one individual human being is called what? Haolam Hakatan, the little universe. The Holy Temple, too, is a picture of the entire universal system, everything that's working. Same way we can see in it a human body. But the Holy Temple is, you know what, more than anything it is? It's the brains and the heart. You want to know what's wrong with the world today? It's not bad politicians. It's not crazy Muslims. It's not any of those things. It's because we don't have our brains and we don't have our hearts, because we don't have the Holy Temple. What we can do about that is each and every one of us individually can come closer to Hashem, because that in and of itself increases the awareness of Hashem in the world. And this is what we've been trying to do together in the merit of Rabbi Levi Yitzhak Berdichev and a nice rabbi from Jerusalem and all of this. So no, I don't deserve it. So I would like to give you some practical advice, but he's not going to let me, so I'm going to finish. Toda Rabba Rabbi. Thank you very much for the privilege that you've allowed us to be connected to you. And I didn't even tell a joke. And we forgot to mention Yitzhak Reuben, who as soon as my wife heard him, she said, oh, she heard him speak from the microphone. She said, oh, now I know who he is.